And we are back. Welcome to another episode of the Asian Cup and African Cup of Nations predictions series. Today we have got 5 more matches across Qatar and the Ivory Coast. And again, another day of big upsets, this time in the Asian Cup with Jordan getting the draw against South Korea. I said it could happen. I didn't think it would happen. So fair play to Jordan for getting that result. And as I did predict, the AFCON was very, very tough to call. And you know what? I can't complain for what I went for. I got the Algeria draw right. I went for 0-0 for the Angola game, and that was 3-2. So fair play to both of those teams. And then the Tunisia-Mali game, I said it'd be very, very tight. It could be a draw. It did end up being 1-1. So I can't complain about what I went for yesterday. There were no sort of outlandish errors, I guess, unless you want to say the Jordan-South Korea one. But it was an interesting day. And of course, we have got 5 more big games across the Asian Cup and the African Cup of Nations today. So if you haven't done so already, please do consider dropping a like on this video if you've been enjoying this series. And if you are new around here, please do consider subscribing as well. We've just hit 1,500 subscribers on the channel. So again, thank you very much for that. And hopefully we'll get some more people joining today as well. Let's get into all of today's action across Qatar and the Ivory Coast. And we'll start off, as always, in the Asian Cup, and we'll start things off with the game between Oman and Thailand. Now, both of these sides, I think, played very well in their opening games. Oman only beaten 2-1 by Saudi Arabia, which I think is a good result considering the Saudis should really be winning this group quite comfortably. Thailand, of course, the winners over Kyrgyzstan in their opening game. So, a tough one to call this. I think Oman will definitely be considered the favourites, but I do believe Thailand are capable of getting a result today. However, like I say, Oman should be the favourites for this one. They are a good team on their day, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. I can see this being a tight one, like I say, but I think Oman will just about come out on top. That leaves Kyrgyzstan, the losers against Thailand, versus Saudi Arabia, the winners over Oman. So when you put that logic all together, there's going to be no surprises when I go for a big Saudi win today. I'm going to go for 4-1. The reason for this is the Saudis do tend to concede 1 or 2 goals each game they play, even when they score a lot. And in the recent results, Kyrgyzstan do tend to score some goals as well, even though they do tend to lose. So I think 4-1 is about right. Probably could be a little bit closer. Who knows? It could be 5 or 6-0 to Saudi Arabia if they really push themselves. But I think that's about right. 4-1 to Saudi Arabia. From Qatar then, of course, we now move over to the Ivory Coast, where once again we are met with some really tough fixtures in the African Cup of Nations. Starting off with South Africa taking on Namibia. And if you look at any of the sort of odds going into this game, South Africa are pretty much heavy favourites to win this. But to be honest, I just don't see it. I think Namibia were really good in their opening game. I think South Africa were really poor in their opening game. South Africa haven't scored in any of their last 3 games. Namibia have only conceded 1 goal in any of their last 4 games. So, to be honest, I don't really see South Africa scoring in this game, and I think Namibia can get a goal. So I'm going to go for 1-0 to Namibia. So that might be the big upset of the day. I say big upset. Like I say, this is actually what I expect to happen, but we will see. I just think this is going to be Namibia's day. From there, we then move on to, I think, the final group in the African Cup of Nations. We stick things off with Morocco taking on the Democratic Republic of Congo. Morocco, of course, the highest ranked side in AFCON this year, and a comfortable win for them in their opening fixture. Congo were unable to put away Zambia in their opening game. So I think no one's going to be too surprised when I go for a Morocco win in this one. Obviously, both sides with a lot more quality players than some of the other teams we've seen so far in AFCON. But I think Morocco should be too strong in the end. I'm going to go for 3-1 to Morocco. I think these sides met in, I think it was either World Cup qualification or even qualification for this tournament last year. And it was a 4-1 win to Morocco. So no real surprises that I'm going to go for a 3-1 win there. And then finally, it is Zambia taking on Tanzania. And again, this could end up being a close one, but realistically, I don't think it's going to be. I think this is possibly the easiest prediction of the day, along with the Kyrgyzstan-Saudi Arabia prediction. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to Zambia. They should be winning this one. Tanzania are an okay side, but they don't really have anything to stop the likes of Patson Daka up front for Zambia today. So that is what I'm going to go for. Another interesting day of action, I think. Could be a couple more upsets, mainly probably coming from either Thailand or Namibia. But that's what I think for today. Thank you very much for watching. As always, let me know all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. And of course, I will be back once again tomorrow morning where we'll have another bunch of fixtures from the Asian Cup and the African Cup of Nations. I'll see you then.